Good evening, and welcome to TMC News. I'm Sarah, and today's headlines bring us to the heart of the conflict in Gaza and Israel, where both sides are facing accusations of committing war crimes. In a significant development, the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, declared on Wednesday that both Palestinian armed groups and Israel have engaged in actions amounting to war crimes. Speaking from the Rafah border crossing, Turk did not mince words as he addressed the atrocities committed on the 7th of October. The atrocities that were perpetrated by Palestinian armed groups on the 7th of October were heinous, brutal, and shocking. They were war crimes, as is the continued holding of hostages. Turk asserted, highlighting the gravity of the situation. He went on to emphasize that the collective punishment inflicted by Israel on Palestinian civilians also constitutes war crimes, along with the forceful and unlawful evacuation of civilians. Turk pointed out the devastating impact of domestic bombardments by Israel, particularly on women and children, describing it as putting an unbearable toll on human lives, on civilians. The accusations of war crimes against both sides underscore the severity of the ongoing conflict in the region. The international community is closely watching the developments as concerns mount over the humanitarian toll on innocent lives. The conflict has been marked by a series of events, including the heinous acts committed by Palestinian armed groups on October 7, which Turk characterized as brutal and shocking war crimes. Additionally, he condemned the continued holding of hostages, shedding light on the plight faced by individuals caught in the crossfire. On the other hand, Turk denounced Israel's tactics, pointing to the collective punishment of Palestinian civilians, which he deemed as another violation of international law. The forceful evacuation of civilians and the impact of domestic bombardments, particularly on vulnerable groups, have further intensified the humanitarian crisis. The United Nations, through Turk's statement, is urging accountability for these alleged war crimes and emphasizing the need for a swift resolution to the conflict. The international body calls for a halt to actions that exacerbate the suffering of civilians and advocates for a return to diplomacy to address the root causes of the ongoing crisis. As the conflict continues to unfold, the allegations of war crimes on both sides add a grim layer to an already dire situation. TMC News will keep you updated as we closely monitor developments in this evolving and deeply concerning international crisis. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sarah, and we'll be back with more news as it unfolds.